Bugs Bunny's third movie, 1001 Rabbit Tales, is pretty decent. This was released originally in 1982, and the overarching narrative involves Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck as booksellers. And they're both competing with each other, and of course, Daffy really wants to sell the most, and as does Bugs. And Bugs ends up going to Yosemite Sam and his palace. And while there, he meets his son, Prince Abadaba, and he has to tell him fairy stories. And a lot of this film is the cartoons of fairy stories that Bugs is telling him, which I thought was pretty great because that gives us a reason to have other Looney Tunes characters. Obviously, a lot of this comprises older Looney Tunes cartoons. So we get other characters like Sylvester, and I won't spoil it by naming too many, but we have several other Looney Tunes characters, and I thought that was a very clever way to include them without it seeming a little bit forced, because there are many fairy tale based Warner Brothers cartoons, and I think they picked some great ones. So the cartoon selection there was really great, but we also have clips throughout it, and again, I won't spoil it by going into too much detail about the clips you can find in this. As for me, whenever I watch these films, part of the fascination is wondering which ones they'll use. I also realize I've just said I won't spoil it by saying which characters are in this, but I think it's going to be on the poster that might be in the thumbnail, so apologies if that's the case. But either way, we have some really great characters, but the story centers around Yosemite Sam, Bugs Bunny, and Daffy Duck, and Yosemite's son, of course, Prince Abadaba, who is a really interesting character. I love the design of the character. He is spoiled, he is horrible, but he is very well written, and I loved his interactions with Bugs Bunny. Meanwhile, Daffy, of course, is trying to, well, actually, I won't say what Daffy is trying to do. I won't spoil it completely, but it does cut back and forth between Bugs and Daffy, and of course the various clips, and I think everything is edited together really well. Everything flows really well, and I really enjoyed it. We have a really nice selection of clips. My personal favourites are the fairy tale ones. I just really enjoy those in general, so it was really great to have a decent selection of them here. And Bugs and Daffy are both brilliant, of course, and the overarching narrative works really well. I have no complaints. The whole thing is, it's over an hour. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's definitely feature length. And according to IMDb, it is an hour and 15 minutes. So, yes, it's just over an hour. And it's the perfect length of time with a really, really nice, decent amount of clips and a great selection of characters. If you're a fan of Looney Tunes in general, and you like watching these films where you can watch snippets from different clips, then it's a really good one to go with. Bugs Bunny's third movie, 1001 Rabbit Tales, is really enjoyable and one that I'm definitely happy to recommend.